Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at all the March manga releases, the most anticipated ones that are coming out, new number ones. As always, I don't talk about continuing series, just the brand new releases along with any deluxe edition or special edition of a previously released material. So with that out of the way, let's get started. From Kodama, we have Magica Volume 1 by Yuzuku Hoshimi. This is a drama fantasy series that started back in 2020. The mage had but only one spell, the strange ability to turn the twinkle of life into gems. It was a powerless magic that couldn't save anyone, but the mage believed in it, witnessing all the comedies and all the tragedies across the universe and weaving them into tales with wondrous luster. And so the curtain rises on a heart-stirring fairy tale fantasy. From Viz Media, we have Magical Girl Dandelion Volume 1 from Kaeru Mizuho. This is a magical girl shoujo series that caused quite a commotion when it started, and it is a highly popular series, and I'm surprised to see it so soon in English, and I'm really excited. I'm a big fan of magical girls, so I will happily pick this one up. This started back in 2024. Tampopo Ahanami's quiet days are interrupted by a life-changing offer to become a magical girl, but she has one big, bad, serrated toothed secret. Her best friend, Shade, is a fiend in a world where fiends are villains to humankind. Shade is none too pleased with the idea of Tanpopo joining the ranks, but there's more than their friendship at stake when Tanpopo's grandpa falls victim to fiendhood. From Kodansha, we have Lonely Deaths Lie Thick as Snow, Volume 1. This is by Hajime Inoryu and Shota Ito. This is a mystery suspense series that started back in 2021, and it's still ongoing. Detective Jin Saeki of the Fujima South Police Precinct heads to a mansion in the hills after receiving an innocuous report of a burglary. But as the investigation unfolds, a horrific discovery sends shockwaves through the department and beyond. From Seven Seas Entertainment, we have The Tale of a Little Alchemist Blessed by the Spirits, Volume 1. This is by Yoko and Asanaya, a fantasy series that started back in 2021 and it's still ongoing. Daisy dreamed of becoming a powerful mage like the rest of her prestigious family, but at her baptism, she's blessed with the so-called useless job of alchemist. She braces for pity instead of praise, but to her surprise, she's met with love, encouragement, and a shiny new set of alchemy tools. With a rare appraisal skill and an endless curiosity for crafting, Daisy sets out to master her new role one potion at a time. Her bright, carefree future as an overpowered alchemist is just beginning. From Kodansha, we have Perfectly Fine on My Own, So My Fiancé Can Twist in the Wind, Volume 1. This is by Yahiro Arase and Jun Hareta, a rom-com series that started back in 2024, still ongoing. Young noblewoman Nicole has had her heart broken more times than she can count by her fiancé, Chaos. Day after day, he overlooks her in favor of Princess Caroline, beloved Queen Bee of their elite academy, and Chaos's childhood friend. After one too many slights, Nicole makes a bold choice. If he can do as he pleases, why shouldn't I? Embracing her newfound independence, she begins to shine in ways that even the clueless Chaos can't ignore. From Seven Seas Entertainment, we have We Are Not Beast. This is by Shoko Rakuta, a BL not safe for work series that ran from 2022 to 2024, 6 chapters collected in one volume. Onizuka Raita and his younger brother Futa are infamous at their school for being two tough alphas who aren't afraid to kick ass. It's also public knowledge that the brothers are totally down bad for the delicate and pretty Omega, Kazusa. Despite his dainty appearance and sweet face, Kazusa has an unshakable sense of justice and chivalry. More than anything, he wants to be strong and live life on his own terms, not just as some helpless Omega who needs protecting. But everything changes when Kazusa goes into heat for the first time. Even more shocking, his doctor announces that Kazusa's fated mate is likely somewhere close by. From Kodansha, we have Shugochara, the 20th Anniversary Edition, Volume 1 by Peach Pit. This is an award-winning magical girl rom-com that ran from 2005 to 2010, 55 chapters collected across 12 volumes. However, this 20th Anniversary Edition will collect everything in 2-in-1 volumes with new covers, updated translation, and of course, art galleries as well. Amu Hinamori is known among her fellow elementary students as a cool girl with a spicy personality, but behind closed doors, she's actually extremely shy and wishes she could be brave enough to embrace her feminine, cutesy side. Her wish is granted in the form of 3 character eggs that hatch into guardian characters, mysterious entities that not only encourage her to achieve her potential, but can even power her up by granting special abilities. Together with the student council, Amu must use her newfound powers to stop the evil forces feeding on the darkness in people's hearts. Kodansha is also putting out Shugochara Jewel Joker Volume 1 by Peach Pit. This one, of course, is the sequel to the popular Shugochara. It originally started back in 2024 and it's still ongoing. Sugar and spice and everything nice. That may be what girls are made of, but Amu Hinamori is much cooler, especially now that she's left behind her days at Seiyu Elementary and become a middle schooler. After transferring to Arcana Academy on a special assignment, her role as the Joker Guardian is to intervene in a crisis that is causing students to lose hope and confidence in themselves. But she has another, more important secret mission: to solve the mystery of the all-powerful, mysterious Arcana jewels. From 7 Seas Entertainment, we have They Are Still Being Shaken This Morning, Volume 1. This is by Eiji Masuda. It's a rom-com shonen series that started back in 2024 and it's still ongoing. Every morning at 6:58, a train departs for Maibara Station, and with it, an entire car full of emotionally invested commuters. Their obsession? 2 high schoolers from different schools who haven't said a word to each other, but might be falling in love. He sneaks glances. She looks away. He panics. She blushes. The tension is unbearable, and the peanut gallery of passengers can't get enough. Can young love survive the pressure of an entire train rooting from the sidelines? From Viz Media, we have Akira Failing in Love, Volume 1. This is by Shinta Harekawa, a shonen rom-com that started back in 2024. Akira returns to the countryside for high school with a foolproof scheme to win the heart of her childhood crush, Hajime. Too bad they're both fools in love. Highlights of Akira's carefully orchestrated strategy to court Hajime include covering his eyes with her hands, tricking him into saying her name, and making his heart race. But she might have better luck impressing him with her academic and athletic prowess. Or not, because he's too dense to figure out she likes him, and she's too dense to figure out he likes her back. From Tokyo Pop, we have Deep 3, Volume 1 by Mitsuhiro Mizuno. This one's a basketball seinen sports series that started back in 2021, and it's still going. Damien Kawai has been devoting himself to basketball in Japan with the goal of becoming the top scorer in the world's top professional league, the NBO. However, this promising young player was struck by the tragedy of the yips, a condition that causes his arms to stiffen up whenever he approaches the goal. Can he persevere and realize his dream? From Yen Press, we have Demi-Human Sharehouse Volume 1. This is by Norito Azazuki. This one is a comedy supernatural ecchi series that ran from 2023 to 2024. 21 chapters collected in 2 volumes. When shy and lonely corporate slave Kei Sato applied to live in a share house, all he wanted was to make friends. Now he lives with a tsundere snow woman, a boyish yet gorgeous Medusa, and a shockingly cute incubus. They have some reservations about humans though. Will Kei manage to break out of his shell and forge deeper bonds with his new housemates, or will they ravish him first? From Seven Seas Entertainment, we have Girls Zombie Party, Volume 1. This is by Sarako, a supernatural, ecchi, not safe for work series that started back in 2024 and it's still ongoing. Schoolgirl Mitsurugi Saya was already having a bad day, unable to focus on classes with her brother in the hospital when the zombies attack. One by one, every boy in school is transformed into ravenous beasts straight out of hell, spreading a terrifying demonic infection. She manages to find her friends Amashika Maria and Momoshiro Momo. Together, they fight back. But do they have the strength to take on so many zombie boys? From Square Enix, we have A Howl of the Heart, Volume 1. This is by Ayato Miyoshi. This one's a BL series that started back in 2024, still ongoing. Uru and Tenyo are two elite soldiers with a bond that runs deeper than blood. Living together and fighting side by side has only heightened their affection towards one another. But in a world ravaged by war, connections can be severed in an instant. When Uru loses his life, he leaves Tenyo behind with nothing but a final kiss goodbye. After 2 years of mourning, Tenyo sneaks into the enemy general Kakazuki's territory with the intent of finishing him off, as promised to Uru. But when he gets there, he finds that the enemy looks exactly like his dearly departed brother-in-arms. There's no way Uru is still among the living, or is there? From Viz Media, we have Disney Twisted Wonderland, the manga, Book of Scarabia, Volume 1. This is by Yana Toboso and Majiko, a school fantasy series that started in 2025, still ongoing. Yu is now enrolled at the Arcane Academy Night Raven College. It's winter break, and while most others have traveled home, Yu discovers that Grim and another mysterious student are still at school. As they wander the solitary halls, they find that the supposedly empty school is far from desolate. They are not alone. From Kodansha, we have Marrying the Dark Knight for Her Money, Volume 1 by Sometime and Suo. This one is a rom-com GL series that ran from 2024 to 2025, 18 chapters collected in 3 volumes. Clarice's younger sister is her whole world. In a world of monsters born into a noble family that's gone broke, there's nothing Clarice wouldn't do for her. So when she gets sick and there's only one way to save her, Clarice doesn't blink. She agrees to an arranged marriage with the Dark Knight, a ferocious warrior who goes everywhere in magical armor, even their wedding. Afterward, Clarice is ready to consummate the marriage and charm her new spouse into paying to save her sister's life. There's just one problem. The Dark Knight won't let her into the bedroom, and Clarice finally finds out why. She's secretly a woman. With female knights forbidden, the knights seriously lacking in social graces, a household full of servants scared out of their wits, and monster fights breaking out constantly, Clarice realizes that this wedding of convenience is going to be more inconvenient than she bargained for. From Seven Seas Entertainment, we have The Tea Ceremony Master's Rich and Steamy Service, Spoiled by His Skillful Hands. This is by Nyakehiko, an ecchi romance not safe for work that started back in 2022 up until 2023. 6 chapters collected in 1 volume. Ren is serious about her job as a government employee. Relationships, no time. Sex, never had it, but she can't help but feel she's missing out on something special. Then a charming, incredibly handsome man named Makoto comes to her rescue as she's being harassed late one night. Enraptured by his pretty face and alluring words, Ren finds herself following him to a love hotel and finally has her first time. For a one-night stand, it's truly epic. Until Ren and Makoto meet again, and she finds out he's a well-known tea ceremony master. Could something more bloom between them? From Tokyo Pop, we have On the Job Training, Volume 1. This is by Isako, a romance series that's a little not safe for work, started back in 2024. Narumi, a hard-working but plain office worker, hides a secret from her colleagues. Her traumatic dating history, which has led her to take on her alter ego, the popular live streamer Minarin. Her charming co-worker Shinonome seems like her opposite, handsome, charismatic, and admired by all, but struggles with his own insecurities. When an unexpected taxi ride forces their secrets into the open, they they make a deal to help train each other to overcome their touch aversion and fear of intimacy. From Viz Media, we have Sakamoto Holidays, Volume 1 by Tetsu Okawa and Yuto Suzuki. This one's a shonen action comedy based, of course, on Sakamoto Days. Sakamoto, a former legendary assassin, runs a neighborhood store in the Ikoraizaka shopping arcade. But this street lined with various stores can be a little dangerous. To protect his beloved family and enjoy his days off, Sakamoto takes on the mission of revitalizing the area to make it the most peaceful shopping arcade in town. From Kodansha, we have Omori, Volume 1. This one is by Omokat and Nui Konoito. This is, of course, based on the RPG game of the same name. It's a psychological seinen series that started in 2024, and it's still ongoing. Since the terrible tragedy of 4 years ago, Sunny hasn't set foot outside his house. Now, in an attempt to shake him out of his torpor, his family has decided to leave faraway town. 3 days before the move, Sunny's childhood friend, Kel, shows up to hang out one last time. But the world outside the young shut-in's door has changed completely, and Sunny's reunion with his old pals goes from bad to worse. Whether by chance or fate, the chain of events that begin to unfold calls up a past they all thought was buried together. From Seven Seas Entertainment, we have Tonight, I Have a Date with a Serial Killer, Volume 1. This is by Kon Iguchi and Yuji Nakamura. This is a mystery suspense seinen series that started back in 2024, and it's still being published. Murder is on the rise, and the bodies keep piling up. For police officer Isogai Shiro, solving these killing sprees is his sole purpose. He'll stop at nothing to find these deranged murderers and has thrown himself entirely into the investigation. So when a mysterious informant begins tipping off the police about serial killers before they strike again, Isogai sees a chance at a breakthrough. But the source isn't at all what he expected. A young woman named Hinata Kuroi, who seems to have a sixth sense that helps her find killers. Together, this unlikely duo dives into the city's darkest corners, hunting monsters in human skin, because for Isogai, this is more than justice, it's personal. From Tokyo Pop, we have Stand By Me by Kiyo Mori. This one's a BL series that started back in 2022, lasting for 6 chapters, collected in 1 volume. This one is 18 and up, by the way. 30-year-old Toshi Agawa is a devoted fan of the idol group Flat. For the first time in 2 years, he's finally going to see them live, together with his new friend, Kazusa, a fellow fan he met online who managed to snag them tickets to the upcoming concert. It's the perfect match. Not only does Kazusa share the same intense love for Flat, but they both stan the same idol. However, when Toshi arrives, the man looks less like a fan and more like a Yakuza thug. Will he survive the night and have fun? From Viz Media, we have a Junji Ito story collection, Statues. This hardcover release contains 10 tales from horror master Ito that will plant the seeds of terror in your heart. Art teacher Okabe creates strange headless statues. One day he is found murdered, his corpse headless. From that day on, art club member Shimada seems off somehow. From Yen Press, we have Bad Girl, Volume 1 by Nikumaru. This one's a comedy series that started back in 2020 and it's still ongoing. In a bid for the president's heart, Yu becomes a self-described bad girl, hoping to thrill and excite her crush. But Yu's adorableness, despite her best efforts, outshines any attempts to come off otherwise. And the president can't see past that tiny, lovable exterior. What's a girl gotta do to get in trouble around here? From Seven Seas Entertainment, we have Fluffy Cafe in Another World, Volume 1. This is by Puni-chan and Yu Takaoka. This one's an isekai shoujo that started back in 2021 and lasted for 39 chapters, collected across 6 volumes, ending in 2024. After a humdrum life as a salaryman, Arima Taichi meets an untimely end while trying to save a mysterious white cat, only to discover the feline is actually a god in disguise. In gratitude, the divine fluffball grants Taichi incredible cheat skills, the rare tamer class, and a second chance in a magical new world. But instead of chasing adventure, Taichi has one simple dream: to open a cafe filled with the cutest, fluffiest creatures this new world has to offer. From Yen Press, we have Battlefront of the Great Powers, Volume 1, Rekkyo Sensen. This is by Natsuko Uruma, a survival sci-fi seinen series that started back in 2023 and it's still ongoing. Due to pollution and resource shortages, scientists estimate that the planet will become uninhabitable within the next 100 years. The herd must be called for humanity to have any chance of survival, and the world's leaders have decided on a desperate solution: the Nation Extinction Tournament. Here, boys and girls with powers beyond comprehension gather and compete for the sake of their countries. Win and become a hero. Lose and death awaits not only you, but your entire homeland. From Yen Press, we have A Pen, Handcuffs, and a Common Law Marriage, Volume 1. This is by Tank Gasuyama and Shinichi Sawaragi. This one's a mystery comedy seinen series that started back in 2022. 40-year-old detective Eiji Kirisame has found maybe the strangest witness of his life, a silent high school girl named Tsugumi Kuchinashi, who was at the scene of the crime. Her statements mostly consist of shoddy doodles on a drawing pad, but Eiji is no stranger to piecing together the truth from limited evidence. And besides, it seems like Tsugumi might have a knack for deduction, so he'll take every page seriously if it might help solve the case. But does the last page really say, "Marry me"? From 7 Seas Entertainment, we have His Little Amber, Volume 1. This is a supernatural BL not safe for work series that ran from 2020 to 2023. 10 chapters collected in 2 volumes. When former Yakuza Genji rescued a helpless leopard cub 5 years ago, he never imagined the creature would grow into a shapeshift with the form of a beautiful young man. Koshiro doesn't remember where he came from or what he truly is, but he knows one thing: everything in him longs for Genji. From Yen Press, we have How to Love a Loser, Volume 1. This is by Iwaba, a romance series that started back in 2023 and it's still ongoing. You have no job, talent, or money. You're forgetful. Your room's filthy, and you only talk about games no one's heard of. No matter where you go or what you do, you're a complete embarrassment. Could being with such a loser ever make anyone happy? Don't be so sad. I'm simply having a bit of fun. All I did was look at your pitiful face, but I'm sorry for making you anxious. I love you, so forgive me, okay? This was the actual plot description. I was not in character. From Kodansha, we have Fruit of the Underworld, Volume 1. This is by Aya Kano, an action fantasy series that started back in 2024, and it's still ongoing. All Seiji wants is to live like an ordinary high school kid, but for the past 10 years, an unending stream of accidents have made it a daily battle to stay alive at all. So when a mysterious messenger hints that the answer to Seiji's problems may lie in his past, he digs up a curious pomegranate he'd once found at the bottom of a well, rumored to lead to the underworld, and tries to get rid of it for good. Unfortunately, the unearthly piece of fruit wasn't all Seiji brought back with him, and his split-second solution may have just opened an ungodly can of worms poised to rock this world, and the next, to its very core. From 7 Seas Entertainment, we have When a Clueless First-Person Shooter Falls into Another World, Volume 1. This is by Jiraigen and Junichi Saiki. This one's an action fantasy isekai series that started back in 2016, and it's still ongoing. Schwartz, a die-hard FPS gamer, was in the middle of a virtual reality multiple battlefield match when one wrong step sent him tumbling off the map. He expected game over. Instead, he woke up in a world of swords and sorcery. With no way home and no magic to his name, Schwartz is quickly branded a dud by the locals, until his modern rifle proves more than a match for spellcraft. But in a land where magic reigns supreme, what happens when the man with the gun runs out of ammo? Alright, there it is, folks. A lot of new number ones, brand new volumes for everybody to check out. Let me know in the comment section down below which ones you are most excited for, and if I missed any, let me know as well. Thank you everybody for tuning in. God bless, stay safe out there. I will catch all of you on the next one.